yes.
M.O.A.P.
Oh, Mike Zimmer, you diabolical genius.
Genius, Lloyd. Sheer genius.
Enjoy it while you can, Saints fans, because Mike Zimmer's got your number. He got you in 2017 with the Minneapolis Miracle. He got you in 2019 with the Pontchartrain Push-Off. And this year, he got you with the mother of all Summer of George defenses. So we've seen Mike Zimmer's mother of all prevents, the M.O.A.P. The M.O.A.P? The mother of all prevents.
A glimmer of hope left for the Eagles. There's Ertz all alone in the middle of the field.
We've also seen Mike Zimmer's standard Summer of George defense.
Vikings just didn't do anything on defense. They didn't try at all. And it's like in that Seinfeld episode where George Costanza, he gets like a 3-month severance at the start of the summer from his company.
I proclaim this the Summer of George!
By the end of the summer, his whole body is shut down.
Apparently your body was in a state of advanced atrophy.
That is what the Vikings did to the Packers. The Vikings defense gave so little resistance. Everything was so easy that 81 or whoever, he caught that pass and Rhodes was like, he ran into Rhodes and the ball just popped out for no reason. And from that point forward, the Packers really couldn't do anything. The Vikings had caused their bodies to shut down.
This week he combined them into the mother of all Summer of George defenses, where the defense just literally, they didn't even make any effort to conceal the fact that they weren't trying. What did Mike Zimmer say? This is a bad defense, worst one I've ever had. He's confessing right there. It's intentional. Not only is he confessing, he's bragging about it. He's like, yeah, it's terrible. Only I could make a defense that terrible. And you look at the Vikings players. Eric Wilson, a guy with 3 interceptions this year, a guy more than capable of making pretty challenging interceptions.
Brees is picked again, and now the ball comes out.
Has an easy interception dropped right in his lap, and he drops it. So obviously deliberately dropping it.
Slapping at the turf is Eric Wilson, who had it.
The Vikings defensive line just getting pushed back like 5 yards on every play.
NFL Network, here's Kamara. Man, it's just chunk after chunk.
You're making it too obvious, guys. Deliberately not trying. And there were a couple Vikings defenders that did make good plays. You notice that? You notice anything about them? Well, what I noticed is I didn't even know they played for the Vikings. Harrison Hand.
3rd and 7, pass is picked. That's even better for Minnesota. Harrison Hand.
I've got hand.
Gets the interception.
Hardy Nickerson Jr.
Brees is picked off the hands of Sanders and into the arms of Hardy Nickerson.
I didn't even know these guys were on the team, and they're making the interceptions. You know why? They didn't get the memo. They weren't getting the reps in practice where Mike Zimmer said, hey, no, you are supposed to lay down and get steamrolled to make the Saints overconfident. So next week they go play Gumby.
Bridgewater has the ball knocked out of his hand.
They get even more overconfident. They get into the playoffs and they just get destroyed. Now that is what's going to happen. And it's going to be wonderful. I can't wait to see the Saints get killed in the playoffs. I mean, Drew Brees was already falling apart in this game. I mean, he had the 2 interceptions, should have had another. He just was terrible. Take solace in the fact that, well, the Vikings aren't going to the playoffs, but Saints aren't going anywhere either. So our awards for this week, the Vikings cornerback with a supernatural ability to avoid making contact with the ball thrown in his direction.
Right there, right there, right there. They can look at the ball. They can put their hand up, yet never once, ever make contact with the ball. Never once break up a pass. Never.
I think it was Chris Jones. You know, this didn't end up being a completion because the guy was just barely out of bounds, but it still did get to the receiver, not touched by the Vikings defender. You know, I'm starting to wonder if the Vikings defenders are actually holograms. It's kind of the only way I can explain how they can never make contact with the ball and how the defensive line gets pushed back the way they do, and there's something weird there. The award for an announcer who's obviously been watching the Chili Report, that goes to Troy Aikman, who Vikings had, I think, a 3rd and 4. Of course, what happens on 3rd and 4 when they drop straight back to pass? Well, offensive line gets pushed straight back 5 yards, back into Cousins, who I've been saying this for the last 3 years.
Every time Cousins drops back, his linemen, all of them get pushed back 5 yards immediately.
And you're missing 3 of your starters on your front
That's
7.
what I'm saying. It's like they don't even have 2 of their best players, and they're just as dominant, if not more, today.
Particularly, I've been saying how Garrett Bradbury keeps getting pushed back. Aikman is like,
Joe, this is what happened in that Bears game last Sunday. Too many offensive linemen landing in the lap of Kirk Cousins. They're pushed right back into him.
but Troy Aikman is calling this out. He's like, this.
Watch these guys up front. There's two offensive linemen in purple jerseys that are pushed right back into Cousins.
He kind of went on and on and on about it.
And it happens over and over, and that has been a problem.
The Magic Bullet Award for something that obviously defies the laws of physics. I'm going to give that to Garrett Bradbury again, Vikings offensive lineman. Even though he weighs like 300 pounds, somehow he gets pushed back after the snap at like faster than free fall speed. Like it's as if he's not even there, that the guy just pushing him just whoosh, goes straight through him. I'm wondering, it's like, if you ever seen the original Nightmare on Elm Street, there's this scene where this girl, she ends up like going up along the walls and the ceiling as Freddy's killing her. And the way they did that was they built a room, and the room could be rotated.
Everything is nailed down, so as the room turns, the props won't fall.
The same thing happened probably in Lionel Richie's video for Dancing on the Ceiling. I'm wondering if that's what's happening, if they actually tilt the field when the Vikings are on offense.
Things that are sort of in violation of gravity, in violation of time and space.
Just year after year, just this line with no physicality. Now our defensive line is in the same boat. Both of our lines, what's supposed to be the heart of our team, there is nothing there. Nothing at all.
Jack Squad!
The 1980s Metallica Roadie Lookalike of the Week, that's number 34 for the Vikings. He was, I guess, the fullback who replaced C.J. Ham. Don't know his name, not going to look it up. I don't know who this guy was, but I'm fully expecting he'll be the #1 target in our screen game next year. But I got to give props to Mike Zimmer for that. Mowassogda, the mother of all summer of Georgia defense. Saints are done. Saints are done. So no matter how badly we feel about this Viking season, how they're not going to the playoffs, we have ruined the Saints season with this performance this past week. It's kind of funny though. Saints scored like 800 points, right? Got like 9,000 yards. I think Taysom Hill had 5 carries for 18 yards. Yeah, he's really awesome, isn't he?